If you are new to my channel and want to educate yourself more about herpes viruses, please like my videos and subscribe to my channel. Make sure to ring on the notification bell so that you'll be the first to watch my uploaded videos every day. Let's put an end to the herpes virus.
Herpes rashes on chest. Herpes zoster usually affect only a small section of one side of your body, including your chest. These signs and symptoms may include pain, burning, numbness, or tingling in the chest area. Sensitivity to touch. A red rash that begins a few days after the pain. Fluid-filled blisters that break open and crust over. Itching. Some people also experience fever, headache, sensitivity to light, fatigue. Pain is usually the first symptom of herpes zoster. For some, it can be intense. Depending on the location of the pain, it can sometimes be mistaken for a symptom of problems affecting the heart, lungs, or kidneys. Some people experience herpes zoster pain without ever developing the rash. Most commonly, the herpes zoster rash develops as a stripe of blisters that wraps around either the left or right side of your chest. Sometimes the herpes zoster rash occurs around one eye or on one side of the neck or face. When to see a doctor? Contact your doctor promptly if you suspect herpes zoster, but especially in the following situations. The pain and rash occur near an eye. If left untreated, this infection can lead to permanent eye damage. You're 60 or older, because age significantly increases your risk of complications. You or someone in your family has a weakened immune system, due to cancer, medications, or chronic illness. The rash in the chest is widespread and painful. Request an appointment at Mayo Clinic. Causes: nerves on the back. Herpes zoster affects the nerves. Herpes zoster is caused by the varicella zoster virus, the same virus that causes chickenpox. Anyone who's had chickenpox may develop herpes zoster. After you recover from chickenpox, the virus enters your nervous system and lies dormant for years. Eventually, it may reactivate and travel along nerve pathways to your skin, producing herpes zoster. But not everyone who's had chickenpox will develop herpes zoster. The reason for herpes zoster is unclear. But it may be due to lowered immunity to infections as you grow older. Herpes zoster is more common in older adults and in people who have weakened immune systems. Varicella zoster is part of a group of viruses called herpes viruses, which includes the viruses that cause cold sores and genital herpes. Because of this, herpes zoster is also known as shingles. But the virus that causes chickenpox and herpes zoster is not the same virus responsible for cold sores or genital herpes, a sexually transmitted infection. Risk factors: anyone who has ever had chickenpox can develop herpes zoster. Most adults in the United States had chickenpox when they were children, before the advent of the routine childhood vaccination that now protects against chickenpox. Factors that may increase your risk of developing herpes zoster include being older than 50. Herpes zoster is most common in people older than 50. The risk increases with age. Having certain diseases. Diseases that weaken your immune system, such as HIV/AIDS and cancer, can increase your risk of herpes zoster. Undergoing cancer treatments. Radiation or chemotherapy can lower your resistance to diseases and may trigger herpes zoster. Taking certain medications. Drugs designed to prevent rejection of transplanted organs can increase your risk of herpes zoster, as can prolonged use of steroids, such as prednisone. Prevention. A herpes zoster vaccine may help prevent shingles. People looking to receive the herpes zoster vaccine have two options: Shingrix and Zostavax. In the United States, Shingrix was approved by the Food and Drug Administration, FDA, in 2017 and is preferred to Zostavax. Studies suggest that Shingrix offers protection against herpes zoster for more than 5 years. Shingrix is a non-living vaccine made of a virus component. It is given in 2 doses, with 2 to 6 months between doses. Shingrix is approved and recommended for people age 50 and older, including those who've previously received Zostavax or had herpes zoster. Zostavax has been shown to offer protection against herpes zoster for about 5 years. It's a live vaccine given as a single injection, usually in the upper arm. Zostavax is recommended for people age 60 and older. While it is no longer being sold in the US as of July 2020, other countries may still use it. The most common side effects of either herpes zoster vaccine are redness, pain, tenderness, swelling and itching at the injection site, and headaches. The herpes zoster vaccine doesn't guarantee that you won't get herpes zoster. But this vaccine will likely reduce the course and severity of the disease and reduce your risk of post-herpetic neuralgia. The herpes zoster vaccine is used only as a prevention strategy. It's not intended to treat people who currently have the disease. Talk to your doctor about which option is right for you.
Thank you for watching. And please subscribe to my channel for my upcoming herpes treatment videos.